But no, yeah, I mean, wait, you can ask him then?
No, I was gonna say, I remember watching Tyler Adams' like farewell video when he was leaving Red Bull to go to Germany. They like interviewed other Red Bull players, and Brian White, who's like now one of our strikers, he was in an academy team that used to play against the Red Bull Academy. So it'd be like, Tyler and Brian White would be playing against each other all the time in the youth system for years.
Where did Brian go? I think he went to. Do you know where he went?
I can't remember off the top of my head. But they would play the Red Bull Academy all the time. So like he knew Tyler from playing against him, and then Tyler left and he started starting the gym. It was cool.
I had to go back and watch the. I wish we still had Jesse Marsh and Tyler Adams on Red Bulls, man. That was a good time. That was a good time to watch.
I actually got to, when I used to work for the Red Bulls, we used to go watch Jesse March session. Yeah. He used to come and speak to us. How is he? Oh, he's a super down-to-earth guy, man. He's a good guy.
Like coaching-wise. Because after watching that video,
honestly, I never seen that side of him.
Oh, that was awesome, bro.
I haven't actually watched the video. I gotta check it out.
You haven't seen it?
Oh, yeah. And I'm a huge Red Bull fan. I'm gonna go home and watch it.
Dude, I never seen that side.
I've heard about it, but I haven't actually sat down and watched it.
Bro, watching him got me pumped up. I was like, yo, I want to do something.
Honestly, I got so much respect for him.
That kind of pissed me off because I'm like, what the fuck is Chris Harmer's doing now? Like, he's probably not doing that.
He was a good guy too. Was a good guy too. I got to speak to him a lot too. You gotta watch that video, bro.
Yeah,
I'll watch it as soon as I get home. I've heard about it. I've seen pictures of it.
He speaks German too.
Yeah, he was learning German while he was coaching the Red Bull the season he left. He was like flying back and forth, taking all his tests and stuff.
And didn't he spend there a season as an assistant?
Yeah, at Leipzig. Yeah, he was there.
And that's the thing, like hearing him talk German and the translation between both German and English, it was super motivating. It was awesome. But yeah, you get to watch it when you get home. Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yep. Let's go.
Here we go. What's going on, bench warmers? We are the bench with the voice, where the bench is always warm and the bench never ends. I am one of your hosts. My name is Erik Estrada. Alongside me is the one and only, the interrupter, Marco Cruz. We have two special guests with us today. Thank you guys for joining. We have the one and only Mr. Bundesliga himself. Welcome to the Bundesliga.
What's up, guys?
Mr. Bundesliga. That's a good one.
There you go. Okay. Well, I'm officially going to designate you as our Bundesliga correspondent.
Yeah.
All right, so.
There you go.
Sorry, I gave more work.
Oh, I'm happy with that.
And alongside him, we have Raphael Araujo. You guys saw him at a one-year special, but...
Where did I look? Too many cameras.
Any of them. This one.
This camera. Tell us what you have going on. Get the reference there. Awesome. But Andrew already met you last time, so if you mind, a few seconds to just kind of get to know Brazil a little bit. We're on Brazil, for those of you who don't know. Obviously, now you know. We're going to ask him a few questions just so you guys have an understanding of who he is, where he came from, and who he supports. Unfortunately, he's wearing that jersey. We're finally giving the Chelsea fan a chance to stick up for themselves.
Oh, it's only been a year.
But before we get into that, quick little overview of what we have going on today. It should be a fun-packed episode. So, here we are. So, we got Chelsea analysis, finally. A little Bundesliga conversation going on today. And that's pretty much it. Halftime we go live. Overtime we get naughty. Let's see how it goes. All right, so housekeeping, Marco. What's going on?
What's going on? I don't know. I'm kidding. If you want to listen, well, usually don't go that way, but if you want to listen to our podcast, you could do it on Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify by searching Benchwarmers FC.
Make sure you guys give us a follow on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Benchwarmers FC.
And if you want to watch videos of like this one or tech ball videos, hopefully we'll be posting soon, you can do it on YouTube at Benchwarmers FC TV.
And when you get to all those platforms and when you get to our email, make sure you email us at benchwarmersfc.com. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a comment and review, share us with your friends. And if you want to join the bench, well, not today because we got full bench, but we'll get another chair in here so we can bring you guys on.
You can always sit on the floor. It's perfectly fine. Just let us know.
Yeah, I'll get behind camera. But awesome. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Where's my whistle at?
It's right there.
You got it this week?
I got it this week. I'm not too fucked up. So, all right. I didn't want to waste any time, going through the more boring stuff in the beginning. Wanted to get right into it because finally get to have a Chelsea fan in here. I hate you so much. But, Raphael, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're Raphael Brazil, what do you prefer? I call you Brazil. I'm used to that, so I'm calling Brazil. I'm calling Brazil. So, Brazil, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you started playing soccer. I know you started playing in the streets alongside Neymar and everything.
My cousin.
So tell us how you started and where you are now, and we'll kind of take it from there.
So clearly, from the nickname, you can tell I'm from Brazil. So I, grew up in Brazil. Clearly, as you guys know, the culture there, soccer is huge. So that always been my passion. I've been playing soccer since I can remember. Grew up playing, like you said, a lot of street soccer going on in Brazil, a lot of pickup soccer. I actually played organized soccer there as well, a lot of futsal, and came here to America when I was 13. Came in here, played travel soccer, then played high school soccer with you. Went on to play in college, had a great college career. Got to play a little bit, professional, semi-professional level. Got to go to China, go showcase my skills over there. And still playing at a high level. I currently play at the MPSL. If you want to, in America, there's no divisions, but if you want to compare, it would be like a third division. So I'm still playing at a little bit of a high level.
And that's futsal, correct?
No, that's
It's actual 11-11. Okay.
Yeah, futsal I play at you can call it professional level.
Okay.
So, yeah, futsal I still play. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But and the MPSL is outdoors 11v11, and it's like I said, it's like the Cosmos play in it right now.
Yeah.
So it's pretty high level.
That's really
And I just love it. I love soccer.
Yeah,
It's my life.
It's all our lives. That's what we're all here. But now, obviously, you've taken a different role in your career. I don't want to dive too much into it because I do want to have somebody else come on with you and talk more about that. But you are coaching, is that right? Yeah. So we'll put a little nail in that for now. We'll cover that in the future. Hopefully, we can get somebody else on. But in the meantime, Andrew, what's going on, man?
I'm hanging in there. Last time we were on here, we were predicting the Champions League result, and I'm very, very happy to say that I was wrong. Bayern did not win 3-1. So sad, but we got a 7-2 victory. So North London is still red.
I'll take that. I'll take that. So, all right. So now that we got to know you guys a little bit more, obviously we know you from last time. We'll get into the Bundesliga a little bit later because I know things are kind of crazy over there right now.
Mhm.
Given our last post, if you saw it, it is a battle for first place at the moment. And Bayern Munich are on the top. So that's kind of surprising news. But on the other hand, given the fact that we do have a Chelsea fan here, I do want to kind of dive into that a little bit more.
I'm nervous.
You nervous about Chelsea?
Yeah,
I mean, I would be too.
No,
I would be too. Nah. But before we know you support Chelsea. You started supporting Cruzeiro.
Yeah.
Cruzeiro, and then Chelsea, Real Madrid.
That's a tough one. So Cruzeiro is my club from Brazil, and to be honest, there's a link between Cruzeiro and Chelsea. So, one, they're both blue. So blue is my favorite color because of Cruzeiro. So when I started watching the Premier League, I wanted to support a team that wears blue. So that's one. Two, Ramirez. If you guys remember him, he came straight from Cruzeiro to Chelsea. So that was there was a link there, and I started supporting Chelsea because of those two reasons.
That's better than my reason.
That's why when I said last week, when I started becoming a fan of soccer, Chelsea was my first team because I had a Ukrainian player.
That's right. Yeah, you did mention that, and it is crazy how we do follow the players that we know and love.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, I try to follow, the Brazilian players clearly, and Chelsea. If you compare to the other clubs, Chelsea normally has the most Brazilian players.
I mean, if you want to jump ship, Arsenal have a Brazilian player right now coming up the ranks.
He's very good. Yeah.
So if you want to join,
I don't think I'm good.
Red Army. So now let's get into a little bit of Chelsea. They started off rough early in the season, losing to United. What was it, 3-0, 4-0?
4-0.
4-0. Started off rough, but the tide has slowly changed.
Mm-hmm.
They are now the darlings of England, apparently. They have the most English call-ups. What's your view on the current state of Chelsea? Are you happy with it, or is there something still to be worried about?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm happy because we're not in first place, so I can't be happy. As a Chelsea fan, we got used to winning titles, so we're always going to expect to win something. Even last year, we won the Europa League. But let's be sorry. Listen, let's be realistic here.
He had to.
I didn't know that's
little
gonna be
dab.
I had to, just throw it out there. But I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not super happy, but I'm not worried either. I think that we're a little bit better off than I thought we would be. With the transfer ban and Hazard leaving and a brand new coach. I think in the first episode when I was when we recorded, I said that we would be fighting for 6th. Now I think I can say that we're going to be fighting for 4th. Top 4.
Ooh, that's a big demand from a team that again lost Hazard,
Right.
2 transfer ban, and a brand new coach.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, how do you think it is for a team like Chelsea, who have all this going on right now, but yet somehow manage to do what they're doing?
That's impressive. I feel like with the transfer ban, they had to kind of be active before it took place. They went and got Pulisic and Tammy Abraham. Did you guys get him from Swansea or?
He was loaned out.
Okay,
He was a Chelsea
so he
player.
was already a Chelsea player. So like finding him early on in his career was a super awesome thing for them to have. I think he played with Swansea in the 2nd division and scored lots of goals there. So it was. I think they had really good scouting and were able to find good players before the ban took effect. So that's they're reaping the benefits of that now.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But yeah, it is definitely difficult not being able to spend money in the summer and having a new coach all in the same year to kind of put all those pieces together. But we're still early in the season, so
That's true. That's
the
very
fact
true.
that they floundered in the beginning and they're kind of picking it back up now, there's still a lot more games to play to see.
That's a good
where
sign, though.
It is a good
That's
sign. I mean, when you say a new coach, it's not just a new coach. It's Frank Lampard. He's a legend.
100%.
Chelsea legend. So the transition from going to Sadi, who has been a name for himself in the City A with Napoli, going over to Chelsea, winning Europa. But to go from a coach that has, I guess you could say silverware now at this point, to Frank Lampard, who just coached Derby
County.
Yeah.
That's a big switch.
So I thought Chelsea was very smart on what they did. So
Really?
yeah, because this is what I think. Like you said, Frank Lampard, Chelsea legend, right? You want to make sure that the fans are not going to turn on the club, right? If we were losing, let's say we have a bad season, there's no way the fans are going to turn on Frank Lampard.
That's true.
He's a legend,
Yeah.
and it's similar what Real Madrid did with Zidane at the time when Zidane got brought in, right? I'm sorry, when when Zidane got brought into Real Madrid, we were at a pretty low point, and they brought a club legend. Let's see, he was coaching the academy at the time, and they gave him a chance, and look what happened, right? Same thing I think Chelsea is doing something very similar. They brought in a club legend. He's very new to coaching, right? He just had that one season with Derby County. He actually did a pretty good job with them.
Did they get promoted or?
They didn't get promoted.
Okay, they were close. Though.
Yeah,
they got to the playoffs.
Almost,
that's what I remember.
Yeah, that's right.
It was them and Leeds, I think. Were,
Yeah,
Yes.
Leeds.
They both of them didn't get promoted, but they were fighting for the
Right.
Didn't the Derby part play against Manchester United and almost beat them?
Yeah, pretty sure they beat them. They beat them in last year in
Wasn't it? I remember that
yeah,
was like a crazy.
They beat them in
yeah.
it was the Carabao Cup, I think.
I think it
One of
was
those,
actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they beat them, or it was like they went to PKs, it was something like that. We can Google it later. We got to Google that later.
Fact check us.
Yeah.
But I think Frank is doing an excellent job, and like tying it up to what you're saying about the most call-ups, right?
That's big.
What
It
Frank
was Liverpool last year.
right?
Now it's Chelsea.
Yeah, and all the young boys, Tammy Abraham, Tamori, Mason Mount, right? All not only are they young players, they are academy products. They've been at Chelsea since I'm pretty sure since they were 11. So, Frank coming up from the academy as well, he's giving the academy boys a chance. And honestly, they deserve it because they are freaking ballers. Those guys are ballers.
What's that young kid's name though?
Mason Mount?
Mason Mount, man.
Yeah,
That
I
kid-
remember when we were talking about it before the Premier League started. From the preseason, I said Mason Mount is the guy. He's been the best player for Chelsea, and I honestly didn't expect him to be doing this well. He's so
I
good.
actually hadn't even heard of him before the
Me
season,
neither.
and now I'm
Before
seeing him
preseason, I
see
didn't
him
know
all
who he
over the
was.
place. So it's
Yeah.
Like that's something like to bring a link to my thing. Like I really wish that Bayern had more academy or used more academy players. Like we used to have Philip Lam, academy
Yes.
player, Bastian Schweinsteiger, academy player, David Alaba, academy player, Thomas Muller, academy. Like all these
And he
people
wants to leave
came.
now too.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
But like all these players came from the academy, and in the last couple of years, like we haven't had players coming up from the academy. And I don't watch those games, but I follow the teams and the players, and there's lots of talent down there. So like I feel like that's underutilized almost. Like I know we sell them off to lots of other Bundesliga teams when they hit their 20s, but I feel like that's something we could definitely utilize instead of spending huge amounts of money in the transfer market, especially now it's so inflated.
Yeah.
Give a shot to some of the younger guys.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot to
Go
say
back to
about Hudson Odoi too.
Yeah.
He's
Another one.
And that was something we were bidding on last year also, yeah.
But something, you guys wanted him really bad. But just going along with what you said, Chelsea was that club too.
Yeah.
We were known to selling, the
buy
Lukaku.
low
Was
amount.
it
like
part
we
of your
should-
transfer ban because you guys kept selling with youth players or whatever? Like, wasn't that?
I-
London.
London,
yeah, but it was with all the
They
youth
had
players.
like 34 youth players
Yeah.
out on loan.
Yeah, but that's not why we got banned.
No, but it was like that's why they started looking at you.
There was
So
some kind of
it's-
controversy.
Yeah, they illegally brought players in essentially. So pretty
Yeah,
much the parents went to London, Chelsea specifically, Stamford Bridge, just for the kids to play football there.
Yeah.
It wasn't because they actually had a job or a reason to go there. They just went to put the kids to play there, and that's not allowed by the laws of FIFA.
Right.
So they had to be going there for a reason. That's my understanding why the transfer ban was placed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, back to the youth that you guys are mentioning. It's huge right now. I think honestly, in my opinion, a few teams in the Premier League. I'm not too familiar with the Bundesliga and the youth and the youth there yet, but for example, Borussia Dortmund, I think have a strong youth squad. But going back to the Premier League, the two teams right now, even though I may sound biased, I don't care right now. I think are Arsenal and Chelsea to be fearful of.
And Man United too. Right now they've been using the Greenwoods of the world.
Daniel James.
Well,
Daniel
James got
James.
bought. No, he got bought.
What?
He
Oh,
was bought. He was bought.
Okay.
He's a young player, but he was bought. But they're using other, Rashford is an academy product. Lingard.
Yeah. Oh, okay, but first of all, Lingard, don't even started on how bad he is. He's 26 years old and still a prospect, which kills me. He has more YouTube videos than he has goals. Rashford is 21 years old.
I guess he started.
Rashford, well, actually, I do have a question about Rashford, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
And then just one more player, Loftus-Cheek. I forgot to say about him.
Yeah,
Who's been hurt, so he hasn't been playing. But
Yeah.
that's 5 very, very good academy products at Chelsea.
Two more questions just on Chelsea real quick. Now, you're saying that these are, Chelsea has a great academy. Essentially, they do. They have all these youth players. But how did Salah, KDB, and Lukaku go through the ranks?
Well, they weren't academy players. They were bought, and like I said, Chelsea. That's a new era for Chelsea
It
to
is.
use these younger players, so they didn't have the patience. They're like, okay, we're gonna buy. They bought KDB. They bought Lukaku. They bought. Lukaku's an academy product. He
was.
Yeah, he came from Belgium. He came from a team from Belgium.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And who else did you say? Salah?
Salah.
Yeah, Salah was bought from a team in Basel.
Yeah, basically, that's right.
So, so that's we just didn't have the patience. If you perform, Chelsea always been a team. We have money. We're gonna buy players. You better perform. You're not gonna perform. We're gonna sell you out. And lose money and whatever.
Which one of those three would you have kept?
Right now, KDB. Come on.
Yeah, except for one. Last question. This one actually, Marco.
Actually, Salah's pretty legit too.
Nah, man, KDB.
But KDB is ridiculous, bro.
This last one Marco brought up, I just thought was a really good one, which is the Kante playing out of position and Jorginho kind of taking over that CDM role. Are you happy with that, or would you want to see Kante back in that role and maybe Jorginho go somewhere else?
Kante is not a 6. Kante is not a 6 is a CDM. He's not a CDM. When he
won with Leicester playing CDM.
Yeah, but they had a 2-player midfield, and he had the freedom to go up and down, side to side, go winning tackles. That's his strength, right? He has the speed. Like you're literally blinking, he's there making a tackle. So when you put him at on that bottom CDM, because Chelsea plays in a 4-3, so he's one here and then two a little bit higher. If you limit him to this, you limit how much he can run. He has to stay here, and you have to stay central.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as you give him that freedom, hey, go play you're a box-to-box player. You can go side to side and win tackles. Now you're using his strengths. Now look how many goals he's been scoring.
Yeah,
he never did that in the past.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you because with Conte, he used him as CDM. But with Sadi, he
Right.
was using him as a box-to-box player. And everybody was not
Yeah.
complaining, but they kept on mentioning
Yeah.
that's not his role.
That's not
Jorginho
his role,
came
it's not
in
his
and
role.
took his role
Yeah,
away.
the critics were they because he went from playing here and then putting it a little bit high. Yes, he was great at the 6, but you compare him to how he was playing the 6 to how he's playing now.
Yeah.
You tell me, what do you think?
Yeah,
Where is he
good.
more effective?
Yeah.
You know,
It's kind of working.
Yeah, it is working, and I feel like Sadi was kind of giving the short end of the stick on that point. That
I think he was amazing for
He
doing
was
that.
the reason why.
And so like Chelsea, they want to build out of the back. They don't want to be kicking balls. And honestly, I think Frankie's getting a little bit lucky that Sahi coached that team to play that way, so they're already used to playing it.
Mhm.
But Jorginho is phenomenal, man. People talk so much smack about him because he's slow and he doesn't score and he doesn't really assist. Okay, I understand.
He's an unsung hero, in other words.
But he's the player he's the coach in the field. He's coaching the team while he's playing. He's giving directions. He knows where the ball should come from to where it should be going next. He's so good. So you put him there, he's getting the balls from the defenders and he's getting that next ball into space and letting the other people do the job. I'm very happy.
I don't follow
Jorginho
trust
and
like
Conte.
that, so I hate Jorginho. But if you say he's good,
Oh, he's amazing.
I hope he doesn't
He's
stay there
amazing.
too much longer.
No, the only thing I was going to say is because I think you have that mentality, that coach mentality,
Right.
and you're able to see that as
Yeah.
us as
Fans.
normal people.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Fans. No,
Fans,
yeah.
yeah. We might not be able to
Yeah.
see that. You see it clearly because this
100%,
is
yeah.
this is what you
Yeah.
this is what you do.
Because
we don't see
because
that.
as fans, you think, is this guy scoring for my team?
Yeah.
Is he assisting? No, he's trash.
Yeah,
Not necessarily true.
unfortunately.
You gotta see the work, like how much Chelsea plays better because of him,
Mhm.
and it's
And you're also the first person I've ever heard say so many. Well, again, the first person Chelsea fan that we have on
Finally.
here. So maybe a lot of you have that mentality,
right.
but we haven't heard it. We haven't
Yeah.
heard it on
Yeah.
and anywhere that we listen or we watch recaps of the games. Nobody says this,
Yeah.
so it's kind of refreshing to hear.
Yeah.
I actually saw. I'll send you guys a video. I actually saw Zola, right, the last year's assistant coach,
Mhm.
who's also a Chelsea legend. He was talking about that, and it's basically. I didn't say that because of what he said. I already had that mentality.
Yeah.
Last year when they were talking a lot about it,
Yeah, they were.
and I was always defending Jorginho and always saying Conte should be playing in the a little bit higher role and going to make those tackles higher on the field. And Zola said the same exact thing. And I'll show you guys the
Yeah, send the link. We'll put it in the description below.
for sure.
So Chelsea are starting a new era right now, but it wasn't always like that. Chelsea were at one point just dominating everything, England and Champions League, and we cannot forget. Oops, sorry about that. You cannot forget the moment where they snatched the Champions League away from Bayern Munich. Where now we're taking it to you, Andrew.
Yeah.
He's like, be quiet. He's like, this is how. Like,
This is how we gonna do it.
And the next season, we got the treble.
Oh man, but no, I mean, yeah, I want to take it to you guys real quick because you mentioned earlier you guys had a triumphant victory over Spurs. Thank you for that, by the
Yeah.
way. 7-2. Serge Gnabry, you're welcome for that.
Thank you very much.
North London is red. He said it himself. That was like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved it. Given the dominance that Bayern Munich have shown in these past couple games, even though it just started again, the squad is looking pretty deep and pretty solid.
It's still the beginning of the season. Wait a couple months until we're FC injured again, and then we'll come back and talk.
But you don't have that the Robins or Ribéry's who are old anymore.
Right.
So
right.
you
Yeah,
have-
our team got way younger this summer. Which I'm happy about.
exactly.
Yeah, Rafinha, Robin Ribéry, like those three were 33, 34. So like them three leaving and Robin retiring made our average age way younger.
Yeah,
which is
and
awesome.
that's
By the way,
awesome.
Ribéry just got Player of the Month for
And
Serie A.
Fiorentina?
Yeah,
For all Serie A, that's
Wait, are you
awesome.
serious?
yeah.
He's been pretty good at Fiorentina.
He
so
got
far.
Player of the Month for Serie A.
a different type of football too.
I I mean, yeah,
I think
maybe
it's
Terry's
there.
do it over there, so I guess anybody can do it over there. So what's your expectations for Champions League this year? I mean, given what you've seen already, what you see
Right.
from the squad, yeah, you have the domestic league going on and how you guys are doing there. Does any of that translate to the Champions League?
So I think with our performance in the domestic versus Champions League, it kind of either shows where the players' heads are at, or I don't know if it's where the coach's head is at. But we are giving up lots of points at home, like in the domestic league, but doing pretty well in the Champions League. I think it might be because we've won the Bundesliga 7 years in a row. We've won a bunch of, the German Cups already, a lot of doubles in the last couple of years. But the last time we won the Champions League was, 2013. So the players really want that. Like a lot of people want that on their resume. That's, players come to big teams to win those kinds of trophies.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of finally showing where the team's mentality is. It's like, okay, it's no longer a goal for us to win the Bundesliga. It's no longer a goal for us to win the German Cup. We want the big one. We want the Champions League. And so far it looks like we're playing that way. At home we gave up points to Paderborn that just got promoted. We didn't give up points. We beat them, but it was like a 3-2, and it was a close victory against a team we should have destroyed, right?
Yeah.
And then we just gave up points to Hoffenheim
That
last
was
week,
good.
and like earlier in the
After the
season we had a
7-2.
1-1 tie with some other team that like we should have beaten. So we're giving points to teams that aren't quite up to quality with us, but we're killing it in the Champions League. So as a fan, I'm okay with it. Like there's
Yeah,
enough
I think
time left in the season for us to catch up domestically if we need to. We're still in the cup race, so those games happen once every few weeks. So we're still in the early stages where we're playing second and third tier teams. So that's on the back burner for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Champions League is definitely where I'm looking forward to.
And you're good with that.
Yeah, and honestly, like if we just get the Champions League this year and not the other two, I'll be happy as a fan. And that'll probably save Kovac's job too, to be honest.
I mean, you guys just spanked Spurs 7-2.
Yeah, that's
Hodge is probably going to be out soon.
Yeah, that's one game. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. Every year we get to the quarterfinals, whatever, lose against a Spanish team. So I don't want a repeat of that again. And honestly, and the one thing I'm happy, it's true. It happened 4 times to teams from Madrid. But I was gonna say, I'm happy with Lewandowski's performance right now. He's got 10 or 11 goals in like 7 games.
Killing it right now.
So, at least he's showing up when maybe some of the other players on the team aren't. I'm definitely happy in his performance. And so, I'm optimistic about our outlook right now, and definitely in Champions League.
You mentioned something last time that you were here that really it stuck with me, and it still stuck with me to this day, is that Lewandowski is a very underrated player in a way that is overlooked a lot of the times.
Yeah, I think he should be in more conversations for alongside Messi, Ronaldo, Ballon d'Or. Like, he should be in those conversations more often than he is. But I think because he plays in the Bundesliga or in the Polish team, which you don't really hear much about. He got a hat trick today in the Polish team.
Oh, shit.
So right, like people, because Poland never makes it far in like lots of international competitions, he's kind of overlooked.
Yeah.
But
I
he had
had Poland doing pretty good in the World Cup, and they've screwed me
Yeah.
over, to be honest.
Yeah, like he's had consistent seasons where he gets, 28, 29, 30, 31 goals,
Yeah.
wins doubles almost every year, and is never in the conversation for amongst the best players. So, I'm a little bit salty about that. But this year, this early in the season, having 10 or 11 goals,
They're strong.
he's got to be in the conversation. I saw a post on Instagram somewhere. I forget what channel, what account it was, but it had like the European Golden Boot race, and he's on top right now with 11, and Ronaldo's not on the list.
No, yeah, he's been on the drought.
Been quiet.
So
He's been very quiet. Winning the City I was kind of surprising, in my opinion, for
Yeah.
him at least.
So that's
Take a break
hopefully
on the gym.
people take notice
Right.
that
I would.
this guy's doing stuff.
So, what's your view on that? Why do you think Lewandowski is a player that's overlooked? Even though I agree with you, he should be
Yeah.
in that conversation because he's done it for Bayern Munich year after year after
Yeah.
year. Maybe not for Poland, but for Bayern Munich, it's been done.
Yeah, I think he's a great player. He's a goal scorer. He'll put goals on he'll put goals on the back of the net for sure. But is he the best striker in the world? Is Suarez better than him? Is
Oh, that's a good one.
Aguero better than him? Is Aubameyang better than him.
I mean, Aubameyang's better than everybody right now.
Aubameyang beat him on the last day of the season to win the Golden Boot. They were both going in at like 29 goals. Aubameyang comes out with 31. Lewandowski came out with 30. The last day of the Bundesliga season. I remember that. That was the 1 year he lost it. Yeah.
The thing is, I think the reason why he's not, in those conversations, does he get top 15? Maybe top.
Wait, say that again.
Like, does he get the top 15 on the golden
in the
the
European
golden goal? I mean, golden,
he's won the Golden Boot in Bundesliga like 2 or 3
I'm saying
times.
for the Ballon d'Or, does he does he
The
get?
short list?
Because they give what? I forgot.
He's always on the short list.
Yeah,
I think he's
I
always on
hope
the
so.
short list.
So he's doing his thing. He's not top
but he's
five.
never top 5. That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the thing. And I think that's where the difference in playing in leagues comes into
Mhm.
play. Like in Bundesliga, you got Bayern Munich and Borussia every now and then who
Mhm.
put up a good fight.
Yeah,
But usually it's only Bayern Munich.
100%.
In the Liga, you have Real Madrid, Atletico, Barcelona, Sevilla, Torment every now and then. Premier League, you got everybody apparently now this
Yeah.
year. So maybe the difference in the leagues in the
Mhm.
competition is what.
It's possible, but putting up 30 goals a season multiple times in a row, it's still. I think it still deserves accolade there.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's just gonna compare like goal scoring, he's a great goal scorer.
Yeah.
The thing is, he lacks on other things as well. On how many assists is he giving? Is he playing for the team
Yeah.
or is the team playing for him? So that goes
As he's
into
gotten
the-
older, he's gotten better. That he was very selfish. I will say that. He has gotten better about like getting off the ball as opposed to always taking it himself.
Right.
A little bit.
200 actually on
Mhm.
the Bundesliga and Bayern Munich. One to get Bayern first. Muller, he wants to be out.
So I've seen like the headlines of articles. I haven't actually read them, but from what I think I did read one interview he did, and like the actual things are. And I don't know if he's out or not. He says he's not happy with being on the bench. Like he's not happy with being on the bench player. And early in the season, he's been doing pretty good, and then for 5 games in a row, he doesn't get a start, and that's kind of a slap in the face to him. I think, and I understand why he's mad. I think he deserves to be mad. Is Coutinho playing?
Sorry.
Is Coutinho playing like head and shoulders better than him, where he deserves like a start 5 games in a row over Muller? I don't know. Is he playing well? Yeah, and I have noticed a change in Bayern style. Like we're playing more through the middle now as opposed to just running down and kicking balls in and stuff. But I don't think Muller's been playing so bad that he doesn't get a start in 5 games. I think that is a little bit of a slap in the face for him. And he is Bayern born and bred. He is Bavarian. He's he is what the identity of the team is. In that since Schweinsteiger and Lamb left, he's one of the original academy players for the last couple of years left. And he's one of those guys that will go out on that pitch and just give it his all every single game. He's not there for the money. He's not there for he loves his team and will play his heart out for it.
Do you think he's out?
That alone is not enough to get someone a starting spot. That's just the passion.
Correct.
But he hasn't had horribly negligent performances. He's had good performances. So especially after playing well or playing good, maybe not amazing but good, and then getting benched 5 times in a row, I think that is a bit of a slap in the face.
Yeah, you're right.
Will he actually leave? I hope not. I don't see him. Can it happen? Possibly. At the end of the day, if a player wants to play and they're not getting starting time, you can't force their hand and make him stay.
That's right.
But I hope he does stay. That's what I got.
One thing on the Bundesliga actually, has the competition risen? Given the fact that the table is what I think is like a 6-point gap between first and
like
6 or 7
yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, which
It's tight.
that's one of the complaints people always have. Like, oh, it's not competitive. It's one-horse race. Well, right now between first and second or first and sixth is what 2-point gap or 3-point
Something like
gap.
that. It's
It's
like
essentially
2
one
games,
or
like
two.
that.
Yeah, 1 or 2 games. Though.
Yeah, the
have
question
different
is,
people.
are those teams, that right now? Who's in first right now? Is it Hoffenheim?
No,
it's either Dortmund or
No,
Gladbach.
Dortmund.
Yeah,
Gladbach.
Gladbach, yeah.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yeah,
The team
whatever.
the name no one knows how to say.
Are they going to be consistent? It's how
Last
many
year,
games in? 7
last
games in?
year, like around the midpoint of the season, Gladbach was like in the top 3. It was Bayern, Dortmund, Gladbach were like a point separated at the winter break. So and then they just had a meltdown after the winter break. But Gladbach was right there, halfway through the season, and then like I said, they had a crap
Just
season
Gladbach.
after that.
Yeah, Gladbach, Wolfsburg, Bayern, Leipzig, Freiburg,
Freiburg's a surprise. That's
yeah.
That's a surprise to be in that
and
list.
Borussia. So
I know
from
Borussia's all the way down.
first has
Yeah.
16th, Borussia is 8th, has 12. That's 4-point difference.
Yeah.
That's
That's-
less than
it's,
three.
it's early. It's early.
It is early, but it's. I mean, look at the Premier League. They're
Yeah.
10 points here.
Eight
Oh,
points.
8 points here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your 10 points. Okay, yeah, right.
So that, I mean, that's kind of like the opposite argument right there.
Exactly.
Like
It's
the, right now, the Bundesliga is the more competitive one, as of
The way it is
7
right
games in or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Liverpool last year was 7 points clear by Christmas, right?
I think they were 10 points here. They were saying.
I think
Well,
it was-
they had a big
yeah,
gap and
I
then
think it
they
was 7,
choked it up.
Yeah.
But that's all we got for kickoff. Let's take a little break. We're gonna go halftime, go live, bring it to the fans. So if you're listening, watching, appreciate your time. Catch you in overtime. Peace.
OT, never much love when we go OT.
What's going on, Benchwarmers? Welcome back to the bench. I hope you guys enjoyed that halftime break. If you didn't, make sure you watch next Thursday at Benchwarmers FC1 on Instagram. I'll be bringing it live to you. Give you the voice. And if you want to join the video, I just saw you can send a request to join the video.
Yeah, I was gonna do it. I was like, nah.
So if you want to do that next time, do it, and then we'll try to feature on there. In the meantime, let's get into overtime. My whistle at.
Oh.
We should get cards out here, actually.
Yeah.
It's just something stupid. You know,
I'll be getting red calls all the time.
sure, you could call that. Give me a timer. All right, so we're gonna go until we hear the alarm, and by that, what I mean is we have questions to ask. But before we get to these mysterious questions, Andrew did have something to bring up to Raphael Brazil earlier. Take it away, man.
So, as a follower of the Bundesliga, I've kind of watched Christian Pulisic's rise to fame and kind of watched his career over the last couple of years with Borussia Dortmund. How do you guys feel with having him on Chelsea? Do you think you're using him to his full potential? Do you think he's an asset to the team? Do you guys want him? How would you rate his performance so far as a Chelsea player?
Yeah, I think he's definitely an asset to the team. I mean, he's a young player. He's 21 years old, right? 21, maybe 22 now.
Mm-hmm.
Now clearly he had his chance in the beginning of the season. He had his starts, and unfortunately he didn't produce. Mason Mount, who was also a young player, came in and he started scoring goals. Tammy Abraham was scoring goals. Now Christian Pulisic plays in the wing. We have William, who's a veteran there. He's been there for many, many years, and he's done great things for Chelsea. We have Pedro, who's actually not getting that much burn. And then, Hudson-Odoi is back in the picture. So, he has a lot of competition. Mason Mount also plays in the wing. So, there's a lot of competition there. And he had his chance, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to convert into goals or assists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that Frankie is managing well. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but I think there's talking about it. I know Frankie spoke about him the other day, saying, "Listen, he's 20 years old. He has a bright future ahead, and he's gonna get his chances." And then it was great to watch him go. He didn't play for a while, a competitive game, and then he went in last game against Southampton, and he what a beautiful assist! Did you see it?
I didn't see it. No.
It was beautiful. It was very nice to Bastoy to score the goal. So listen, there you go. He proved right there. He came in, got an assist. So
do you think that maybe you guys brought him on to build depth, knowing that the ban was coming, and you wouldn't be able to buy players for a while, and now that Callum Hudson-Odoi is healthy, and now that you have the depth, he doesn't have a spot, or do you guys buy him with an intention of having him play regularly?
Yeah, I think we bought him with the intention to play him regularly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Now, also, not only is he a young player, he's brand new to the it's a brand new league for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brand new league for him. It's a brand new team for him. There's a different style of soccer.
Right.
So he's going to take a little time for him to adjust and get used to it. And I think when he does, I'm pretty sure he's going to get great minutes.
Right.
I hope so, at least.
Wow.
So he can be on America TV.
There you go. Awesome.
That's true, actually.
Because they didn't put the last game, the Chelsea game.
Was it on gold?
Was it on gold?
Well,
yeah.
then again, contractual.
Yeah.
Premier League is starting to piss me off with these Monday night games as well.
Yeah.
So don't get me started on that. But yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, I like the question because that was a big debate before
Yeah.
Pulisic in the bench at Borussia. And now
I
he's
feel
on the
like
bench.
so like something I talked about on my podcast back when I was talking about the winter transfer window in Germany. That was Bayern's biggest push to get Odoi. Like that was our target before Leroy Sané, before any of that. Callum Hudson-Odoi was the guy. We wanted him by January. We wanted him signed, and then that kind of fell through. Like, oh, we'll do it in the summer, whatever. And then I feel like Chelsea started looking at Pulisic when we were looking at Callum. So we'll take him, then they'll take him, kind of a thing. But now that they're both there, there's a lot more. Like you said, there's competition with Callum Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, Willian, Mason Mount. Like now there's, I'm not gonna say too much depth. That's a good problem to have. There's too much depth, but now they have a lot of players vying for finite spots.
So some of them are going to leave.
Yeah.
Hello, Bayern. All right, so now we'll take it to the Mysterious Cup. Marco, you didn't get to choose in halftime, so I'll give you the honors. Why are you fingering my coffee?
I was about to say that. Easier way. Yeah,
For real, bro. I know it's giant here.
I
but
get my own questions.
yeah,
It's been my questions today. All right. When a coach has won everything, literally won it all, what would be the best next step for him?
For the manager?
For the coach.
After they won everything.
After they won everything.
Win it again. Shit.
Yeah, I mean the next challenge. So you can do what Pep did, right, with Barcelona, and like what, I've conquered Spain. I've won Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey, everything that has to be won. He won. Let me see if I can go conquer a new league. And
he did.
Clearly, he didn't win the Champions League.
but
He got close.
got there close, yeah.
Lost to Real Madrid.
He won the double 3 years in a row.
Yeah, exactly. So he conquered that. Even though he didn't win Champions League, he conquered Germany.
He brought us Joshua Kimmich. I'm pretty sure he brought us Thiago.
Yeah,
so
those are his kind of players, actually.
he did a lot of good for Bayern we're still feeling now. So
Yeah.
And he adjusted Philip Lahn's position as well, because Philip Lahn always been an outside back, and then he started playing him in the middle a little more too.
Javi Martinez, he
made him a center back.
That was clutch. So
word, yeah, that's right.
And now he's
he plays like CDM
England.
and center back, but that was all Pep.
And now he is meeting a challenge in England.
Yeah.
With Klopp.
My addition to that answer is you won it all. Switch countries, win it all there. Keep going.
Yeah.
Pep's now on his third. He's won everything in Spain. Won most of the things in Germany, and same in England. The only thing I could think of is national team.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But then you hear the rumors that national teams aren't as fun to coach because you get the players.
You've already won. What haven't you won? World Cup, Euro Cup.
Imagine him coaching Spain. Oh my goodness.
That'd be scary.
That's what I thought.
Actually what his dream is, right? Well, I don't know if his actual dream, but he said that one of his dreams is to coach Brazil. I can.
Club or like national?
No, club. The national team.
Oh, okay.
If you put Pep with the Brazilian national team, it's like a match made in heaven because
it's like playing with cheat codes.
Yeah, because Brazil
literally playing
are
with cheat
known
codes.
for playing that sexy football, dancing, all that. And Pep would kind of bring that, I would think, back to Brazil, but that's another conversation to be held. All right, let's go around. Want the rounds again?
Go on first. Right?
Next question.
Rug Gnabry surpassed Klose.
He just surpassed his. He beat. Klaus had got to 10 goals in I believe 12 or 13 games. And Gnabry just got there in 11, so he beat him there. Will he beat him in goals? We'll see.
Long time to tell. But how old is Gnabry right now? He's 21?
22 or 3.
Still young.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's crazy. Do you have any knowledge of Gnabry?
I think different positions.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why I have familiarity with him is because of Arsenal. And although Arsenal did plead for him to stay.
Yeah, and Miroslav Klose played pretty deep into his 30s too. So
he did. The thing with Germans, man, they last forever. Mm-hmm. They just.
Klose was also just he was just a target guy. He wasn't a runner. He wasn't running everywhere.
Poacher.
Yeah, he was a poacher. So you can go a little bit longer in that position.
That's true.
You can now Gnabry is a winger play. He's running up and down the field.
Oh yeah.
Longevity might be an issue.
Look at Ribéry and Robin, but.
That's true.
Even Coman's, tearing his ankles up.
Yeah, Coman.
wingers, if you're running back and forth, man, there's ACL injuries, all kinds of injuries now.
Don't bring that up to me. You had 2 in the last season. I don't want to hear that again.
True.
All right, what do we got here? I didn't know there was that many questions in
We
here.
got a bunch of him, man. We got a bunch. We're gonna keep filling
After that first essay, I assumed they were all like big pieces of paper.
Oh, bro, that's just me.
Might have short and sweet.
Are
If it's
Real
serious,
Madrid fans
oh, okay.
Treating.
Courtois fair? Are Real Madrid fans treating
Okay.
Courtois fair?
Yeah, bro.
Fuck Courtois, bro. Snake ass motherfucker. Fuck you. Sit the bench, bitch.
Oh yeah, Chelsea fan. That I wrote down because that was a big thing that came out recently. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but Courtois said that he's being treated unfairly
Yeah,
in
fuck
Madrid.
him. Every shot on goal is a goal, bro. Like
That's true.
your job as a keeper is to stop the ball from going in the net.
That's true. Now, are we?
I say something?
Well,
I think Keylor Navas was mistreated. The guy
Yes.
won Champions League for us.
Yeah, Navas. Oh my, Navas.
And then bring Courtois. Courtois is giving up goals on top of goals on top. Now, listen, I'm gonna be fair. I don't like him because of how he left Chelsea, but all right, like it's not only the goalkeeper's fault. It's the defense. Like, you're allowing shots,
and that's what I wanted to ask.
But some of the goals that he lets
Are
in are
ridiculous.
like,
Here's,
come on, bro.
here's what I was like. Why were they even in the market for a goaltender if you have Navas? I wouldn't even be in the market for a goaltender, bro.
I don't know.
I don't think that's
don't know.
necessary.
And
I
then
don't
also
know.
how they did Castillo. Oh man, like
It's something with wrong with doing the goalkeepers, but no, that kind of I want to bring it back to what you said, which was you can't only blame Courtois. Like, yeah, I agree with you. The way he left Chelsea, I mean, I'm happy the way he ditched you guys. Thank you. But the fact that he's now Real Madrid and doing bad, is it all his fault, or are we putting the blame on him for the rest of the team?
I think he deserves a blame because Navas had the same defenders, and Navas kept it a little bit cleaner.
yeah. No, I think that it's you gotta blame both.
You see, wait, Courtois started last season? Isn't
Yes,
everything
this
started going
second
downhill?
season.
I'm honestly, man, I'm thinking to my guns. I think it's because Ronaldo left. Once Ronaldo left, everything changed.
No, it's perfectly fine. Attack-wise, that's true. Defensive-wise, the same defenders that are there now were there when Navas was there.
Yes.
But we weren't losing consistently.
Correct. But we're getting attacked more now. Why? Because we lost that. Well, Real Madrid lost that focal point that was just a beast of an attacker. So now instead of just worrying about Ronaldo, they have to worry about Hazard, who's been underperforming, Benzema, who's old, Bale, who wants to leave.
You know,
No,
what
it's
Fuck it,
It's
I'm more attacking now.
it's the
And
Chelsea
now they're
curse.
exposing us.
He's a Chelsea
Oh,
curse.
sorry.
You go from Chelsea to Madrid, you're gonna do bad. That's it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Courtois,
I
Hazard.
bet De Gea's happy that vacuum machine broke, right?
I don't think he is right now. After
Oh yeah, not right now, but
he was about to cry in the last
Yeah,
time he
that
got interviewed.
was-
So
you're
right
right.
now he was like, shit.
You're right.
If that went through.
I don't know, man. Should the fans line up on Courtois, though? Just to help him get his confidence?
The
Because
fans?
the fans.
No.
Because they're the
You
ones-
play for Real Madrid.
That's true. Yeah, he's the wrong
If you went to Real Madrid, you should expect that we are the most demanding fans in the world. Why? Because we're the kings of Europe.
That's just
So
nice. As you can tell, we're Real Madrid fans as well.
the pressure comes with it.
I picked up on that.
I keep saying we, and I'm an Arsenal kid.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna take it. I think we got one more question to go. Yeah, we got one more question. All right, let's see. How we gonna get going here? Oh, awesome! This is
Yours.
we Arsenal, but also bringing it into Man City. Are Arsenal overachieving or Man City underachieving? Arsenal are 1 point behind Man City right now.
I think Man City is
what's the goal
underachieving.
difference?
A lot. There's a lot, hands down. That's. I'll give you the exact numbers right now. But for a team that won the Premier League last season, completely dominated every team.
Mm-hmm.
Now to be 1 point ahead of Arsenal, who I mean, I'll be real. We're kind of a laughing stock for a lot of clubs, and I think we are turning over a new leaf at this point. But are Man City underperforming this year?
Man City's in second right now,
They're in second, yeah.
and Arsenal's in third.
We're in third. Yeah.
Arsenal's overperforming.
No, I think they're underachieving.
Yeah, Manchester City is underachieving.
Second place is underachieving?
Liverpool has 24, City has 16, Arsenal has 15.
There's only
That's
one place
it.
up to go. Like, how's that underachieving?
Yeah,
but so if you think about Manchester City lost to
Wolves,
Wolves
Norwich.
and Norwich,
Yeah.
are they underachieving? How do you answer that?
Well, everyone says Premier League is the most competitive league in the world. Any team goes to any team on any day.
Yeah, but last year they weren't losing to these teams. You know what I'm saying? Now, who did Arsenal beat?
Who did we lose to? I'll tell you who we lost to. The only
Well,
team that-
because if they're overachieving.
who are the
Well,
big teams
we
that
only
they played?
lost
Are
one
you
game.
asking me? Or
Who,
really off the
yeah,
top?
what are the big teams Arsenal played?
The only big team they played, honestly, I have to say, is be Liverpool and United. But I mean,
Right. What was the score against Liverpool?
Don't bring it up. For
And then Man United tied 1-1.
1-1, yeah.
Honestly, you're playing the Man United who is down
I agree
right
with
now.
you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So
That is true. Being in third place, not having played any top 6 teams or whatever. Okay, that's a bit more understandable. Why you guys are in third? Maybe once some tougher competition comes around, we'll see.
Oh, that's what I'm nervous about. But I have hope after this international break, a lot of players will be back. The squad will be healthy.
Finally.
But I'm not going to answer all the questions. But I think we have time for one last quick question. What's up?
I got a question for you as an Arsenal fan.
Let's
So
do it. Finally,
last year, one of the most dangerous attacking trios I thought was Liverpool. Firmino and Mane and Salah. Do you think that Arsenal has a chance to, with Pepe, Aubameyang, and
Like I said.
Like I said.
like that.
yeah, Lacazette, that's his name. Do you think you guys have like a possibility to build those into like a very like an attacking trio like
100%.
Liverpool last season?
100%, man. 100%. Lacazette was notorious for coming in clutch with last minute goals against the big teams.
Mm-hmm.
Aubameyang, you see right now. He
Yeah.
has 17 goals in, I think, 18 games now.
Yeah.
He's literally carried us on his back. And Pepe, he just came to the league.
Right.
He just got to the team. I get it. People are expecting a lot from him. This is the
I
price
remember
tag.
Bayern was in the market for him. I remember there was rumors we were in the
He
market.
tried out.
So-
He did play. What's up?
No, I was gonna say. Well, you also mentioned last podcast that nobody's really playing with Pepe.
Nobody's
Like,
playing with Pepe.
Pepe's
Exactly.
playing by himself. Like he's on
He's
no
isolated.
man's
Yeah.
land.
I honestly
So,
think he
as long
over
as the-
dribbles all of that.
Well, that's the
Young
kind of
players
player we
don't do
wanted, though. We wanted
Yeah.
someone to drive at the defense
Yeah.
and go to goal, and he does that. He drives to the defense, but once he gets past that, there's another defender always there,
Right.
and there's nobody to pass to because he's left alone.
Right.
We don't have a solid right back. But back to your question, I
Mhm.
think we can once Pepe gains his confidence because everybody's seen his talent so
Yeah.
far. What he
How
can do.
old is he?
24.
Oh, okay. I thought
He's
he
young.
was
He's a young boy.
He's
I thought he was
super young.
younger than that. Though. Okay.
Yeah, I wish. But I think the big problem right now with Pepe, especially, I think, like I said, Aubameyang already made a name for themselves
Yeah.
as far as what they can bring to the team. Pepe is just a price tag on him that's kind of, I think, overshadowing what he can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let him get his confidence. Give him, I would say, a season at most.
Yeah.
And then you'll see,
exactly.
because having Bergkamp, having Thierry Henry, Arsenal legends, they struggled when they first got to
Yeah.
the club. And what have they done since?
Yeah.
They've done,
Right.
they're invincibles.
Yeah, it's
So-
definitely gonna be interesting to watch those 3 players play together for sure.
Yeah, and I'm excited, man. I'm super excited because I think that, like I said, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, it's all going to change again. It's just it's a revolving. It's like a circle with teams that eventually the Giants will fall down, and then we'll come back up, and then vice versa.
Right.
The only league that don't see that happening in are in Bundesliga and La Liga.
Honestly, though, I'm very surprised how the Spurs what's been going on with the Spurs. I did not expect that at all. Like Manchester United, I expected. Chelsea, I actually think we're doing better than I thought we would be doing. But Spurs, like they have the same. They didn't really lose anybody besides Trippier. They bought Lo Celso. They bought
Yes.
and Dembele.
Mm-hmm.
They bought some new players, and they're just
A little perspective on that, in my opinion, and obviously I may sound like hateful towards them, but once Eriksson said he wanted to leave, that was red flag number 1. The fact that they invested so much money in the stadium and didn't bother to reinvest in the players, red flag number 2.
Trippier leaving just out of blue.
Red flag number 3, because it's not only him that wanted to leave, apparently Daniel Rose wanted to leave as well.
He was.
And
he was
you're still
close.
benching Lucas Moura, who carried you to the
oh my
freaking
God.
no man.
That's a huge dude.
I don't
That
get it.
when that conversation comes up, it makes me upset because Lucas Moura,
carried them.
he and it's crazy. I don't know why, man. Everywhere he goes, they don't at PSG. As soon as Neymar came in, see you later, Lucas Moura. You're out. As Spurs, like you said, carried them to the Champions League finals. As soon as Harry Kane is he was like 50%. Like he wasn't even healthy.
Yeah, that's right.
He was like 50%. They benched him. Like what? Like they deserve to lose, man, because of that.
Well, that's all we got for today. We went over our time a little bit, but it was all in good conversation, so I can't get mad about that. Thank you guys for joining us today. Appreciate it. I'm sure we'll have you back on.
Thanks for having me.
And you'll be on again. We want to get more into the Bundesliga. I'm gonna get into it, man.
Nice.
I'm gonna
I'll help you pick a
challenge
team.
you. I'm gonna challenge
Have
you.
to pick a team.
All
Hey,
right, cool.
he picked a team, but you have to pick a team, an EPL team too.
Word.
We could.
If you pick Arsenal, I'm fine with that, man. No, listen. If
We
you want to
could-
be on
we
the same
could-
team, I'm completely all for that.
We'll see.
Except when it comes to Bayern versus Arsenal. But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, we are the Benjamin with the Voice. I messed that part up. Fuck. Actually, you guys have to know where to listen to us on our podcast.
Dun, dun, dun. So it gives you a time to.
Exactly. Catch
Do it
up.
again, okay.
We check that up.
You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher by searching Benchwarmers FC.
And make sure you go on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Benchwarmers FC1.
And if you want to watch YouTube videos of our podcasts or tech ball videos, you can do it on YouTube at Benchwarmers FC TV.
And last but not least, shoot us an email, bench at benchwarmersfc.com. Any questions you guys have, if you want to join the bench, if you want to share your voice. Also, give us a like, comment, hit the notification bell. That way you know we have new content coming out. With that being said, we're the Bench with the Voice. Have a good night.